Live on YouTube. Live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Alexander, you viewer are you. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. Anyway, today is Thursday, aka Thursday, June 18th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a 32-page document to go through today, so a little bit on the lower side, you know, as far as averages over the past couple of weeks here. How you doing, Loon?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Nice. Let me, there we go. Now we're both in camera there. Check out that thumbnail right there. So we have
Nice.
Space Force, we have Ocean Gate, a white stealth bomber. That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. And like a bunch of other random stuff. And the title today is, of course, Philadelphia, War of 1812, Waterloo, Children's Carriage, and more. Mm-hmm. So what shenanigans are we going to get into today?
We're going to find out.
Let's start us off in the year 618. We have coronation of the Chinese governor Li Yuan as Emperor Gaozhou of Tang, the new emperor of China, initiating 3 centuries, that's 300 years, of Tang dynasty rule over China. All right, that's a long time.
Yeah, that is.
860, Rus Vikings attacked Constantinople. That sounds like a nothing article. From other source, so it says Byzantine-Russ's war. I don't know who's Rus. Russia? Like a fleet of about 200 Russ's vessels sailed into the Bosphorus and started pillaging the suburbs of the Byzantine capital, Constantinople. So they didn't attack it. I mean, I guess it's surrounding areas, but not the city itself. It sounds like we kind of have conflicting reports here.
Probably cut it off from all supplies and everything else.
Yep. 1053, Battle of Civitate, 3,000 Norman horsemen of County Humphrey routed the troops of Pope Leo IX. 3,000 horsemen, that's a lot. 1156, the Treaty of Benevento between Pope Adrian IV and William I of Sicily was concluded. And I wonder what that entailed. I'm going to look that up here really quick. So, Treaty of Benevento, okay, here we go. It was an important treaty between the papacy of Adrian IV and the Norman kingdom of Sicily. After years of turbulent relations, the popes finally settled down to a peace with the Hauteville kings. Okay, so let's see. Treaty of Benevento. I'm going to start the underbar description section. This link and all other links that we gather throughout the show will be in the underbar of the description below after the live stream. We already have some cool things down there for you guys to check out. But moving on up, what else do we got here? 1178, 5 monks at Canterbury reported something exploding on the moon shortly after sunset. Only known observation. And here we have an artist's rendition. Yeah. So something exploding. So maybe
something hit it. Maybe a...
that's what I'm saying. Maybe it was like a meteor or something hitting it or whatever. Yeah. So something happened. But this is the only known observation. So... what else we got? 1264, the Parliament of Ireland met at Castlemont in County Kildare, the first definitively known meeting of the Irish legislature. 1316, Peace of Finchley, signed by Prince Bishop Adolf II of Mark, limiting his powers. That's pretty cool, limiting his own powers.
Yeah.
So, 1429, Charles VII's army defeated an English army under John Talbot at the Battle of Patay during the 100 Years' War. The English lost 2,200 men, over half their army, crippling their efforts during this segment of this war. That's not good there for them.
That's a pretty big loss.
1541, Irish Parliament selected Henry VIII of England as King of Ireland. Okay. And I only put that in here because 1542, 1 year later, Crown of Ireland Act 1542 passed the Parliament of Ireland, giving English King Henry VIII the title of King of Ireland. So it took a year for the British to officially do that with their bureaucracy, it sounds like. 1574, Polish King Hendrik of Anjou secretly left Poland. Why? Was he fleeing something?
It's a good question.
Polish-Lithuanian royal election. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with that.
Sound like the same thing.
I'm not. Sometimes it does. It's weird how things tie together, but this is going to require some digging, which we don't have time to do on the show. But if anybody wants to out there, let us know what you find in the comment section. That'd be great. 1580, Saints of Utrecht forbade Catholic worship. Here we go again. 1583, Richard Martin of London took out first life insurance policy on William Gibbons. Premium was £383. It's pretty heavy there. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it was the only one, so it was the biggest one and also the smallest one at the same time. until the second one came out. That is, whatever that one was. 1682, English Quaker William Penn founded Philadelphia in the Pennsylvania colony.
Ah.
Yeah, good old Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, of course, being named after William Penn, Pennsylvania. So, and we're going to be talking about Philadelphia here again in about 100 years. 1684, the charter of the Massachusetts Bay Colony was revoked via a Sikher Faisa writ issued by an English court. That's confusing. 1767, Samuel Wallis, an English sea captain, sighted Tahiti, considered the first European to reach this island. We covered this yesterday, though.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. I could have sworn we covered him being the first to discover Tahiti. Because, here, I'll show you image search really quick. Right here. Remember this image?
Yeah.
That's,
I think so.
yeah. Because we covered them sighting it, but not necessarily landing. And this is obviously after they landed, because we have, these are European people with their weird European clothes. And then we have the natives. Imagine being a native and seeing this creature theme. Right here. Imagine being a Native American in 1492 and seeing this bizarre thing step off a ship. What the hell is that? Yikes. 1778, British redcoats evacuated Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and head for New York during the American Revolution, as I said. There we go, speaking about Philadelphia again. 1812, the War of 1812 began as the U.S. declared war against Britain. So the United States Declaration of War upon the United Kingdom was signed by President James Madison, beginning the War of 1812. It's telling me to image search this, so I'm going to do so. What is this image? We're not there yet, so... basically, war declared. There's people out on ships, and so we're fighting the Brits again here. What does this say? Signed a declaration of war against Great Britain, thus beginning America's Second War of Independence. No, I wouldn't consider it that. They were trying to conquer us.
Yeah.
But we were already independent,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really consider. I've never really heard of it being referred to as such a thing.
Well, I think that's incorrect.
Yeah.
We were independent. Now they conquered us, would be another story, and then got a second independence would be something else.
True.
But we defeated them.
Yeah. 1815, Battle of Waterloo. Napoleon Bonaparte and France were defeated by British forces under Duke of Wellington and Prussian troops under Field Marshal von Blücher. So it says here, during the Napoleonic Wars, the Battle of Waterloo resulted in the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte by the Duke of Wellington and Gebhard Lippert von Blücher, forcing Napoleon to abdicate the throne of France for the second and last time. So, yep.
No mas.
No more, yep. 1822, part of U.S.-Canadian boundary was determined. All right. 1822 as well, Constantinos Canaris blew up the Ottoman Navy's flagship at Chios, I guess, killing the Kapitan Pasha Najuzgad Ali Pasha. Sounds wild. 1837, Spain got a new constitution. That's pretty cool.
Hope it was for the better.
Yeah. While that was going on, then we have the St. Joseph Mutiny. African soldiers in the 1st West India Regiment, led by former slave trader Daga, launched a rebellion in the British colony of Trinidad in an attempt to escape to Africa. I hope they were successful. 1847, Canadian photographer Thomas Martin Easterly took the earliest known photograph of lightning using the daguerreotype process in St. Louis, Missouri. And it's interesting. They use the same image I did right there, except theirs is bigger. I should probably steal their image, but still, that's you can't really see it. But these little these thin little lines here, that's the lightning.
Oh, okay.
There's a daguerreotype. That's what gives it the sepia tone of the Old West and everything. Because it's a photo that takes a while to be exposed.
Yeah.
So how he got
the lightning? That's
the
weird.
lightning? Because the stereotype, you're up there sitting for 5 minutes to get fully exposed. Well, lightning isn't just standing there for 5 minutes in the air. It's an instant thing. So, it's telling me to image search this because I do have other examples of this image to show. Really quick. Right here. Here's a grayscale one, so you can see it a lot better.
Yeah.
The lightning and everything. And that's obviously not the same one, but it's still an older photograph of lightning, which is still pretty cool. So, What else we got here? 1858, Charles Darwin received a paper from Alfred Russel Wallace that included nearly identical conclusions about evolution as Darwin's own, prompting Darwin to publish his theory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 1858, Charles, yeah, we got that one, sorry. 1859, first ascent of Ashleshorn, second summit of the Bernese Alps. Awesome. 1863, after long neglect, Confederates hurriedly fortified Vicksburg. I wonder if that was of any use. 1864, siege of Petersburg. Ulysses S. Grant ended 4 days of assault and began a 9-month siege. So just encamping around, just waiting him out. 1864 as well, the January uprising and insurrection in Russia's Kingdom of Poland aimed at restoration of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, that is, was quashed after 1.5 years. And that took a while, so they were really fighting for a while. 1872, during Women's Suffrage Convention held at Mercantile Liberty Hall, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And 1 year directly after that, Susan B. Anthony was fined $100, or $2,200 in 2020 value, for voting for U.S. President in Rochester, New York. She refused to pay, and no further action against her was taken. So, all right, cool.
She couldn't vote. Women couldn't vote by then. Is that it?
No, women's suffrage wasn't for another 50 years. 1920.
Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah,
this is
that's
1873.
Right. Yeah.
So, 1879, W.H. Richardson, a black stadium inventor, patented the children's carriage. We have it right here.
Ah, yeah.
Basically, like the stroller.
There was something in my grandmother's basement when I was a little kid. They still lived in Vancouver.
Wow.
Very similar to that. Very similar to that top one. A wicker thing.
Well, this was 1879.
Well, it wasn't exactly like that, but it was a wicker, and it was, more of a baby carriage than that. It looks more like a seat, but still had the big wheels like that.
I guess that's the image right there, that one little pixel. Weird. Anyway, let's see here.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, it is. What else do we got here? I didn't mean to do that and destroy that other link there. 1887, the reinsurance treaty between Germany and Russia was signed. I'm going to look that up here really quick. Reinsurance treaty. All right, let's add this in the underbar of the description section. Reinsurance treaty. If anybody wants to read up on this, because we don't just broadcast history, we provide ways for people to follow the threads. So there was a diplomatic agreement between the German Empire and the Russian Empire that was in effect from 1887 until 1890. Only 3 years. That doesn't seem like long. The existence of the agreement was not known to the general public, and as such was only known to a handful of officials in Berlin and St. Petersburg. The treaty played a critical role in German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck's network of alliances and agreements, which aimed to keep the peace in Europe as well as maintaining Germany's economic, diplomatic, and political dominance, and helped calm tensions between both Russia and Germany. Okay, so I guess it just prolonged the First World War for a little bit longer, at least in that area. So, 1892, brothers Edward and Robert Jordan planted first macadamia nuts in Oahu, Hawaii. Yeah, macadamia nuts.
Yeah.
So it's these. I don't have an actual image of that,
Yeah.
So, 1894, Premier Rosebery declared Uganda a British protectorate. 4 years after that, Steel Pier opened as the first amusement pier in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And that's what this is.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So I'm just gonna image search this really quick. The show, it shows different piers. I'm not sure if this is it today or whatever with the roller coaster and Ferris wheel. Like, this looks more like the one we have out here in LA. I'm not sure though. Like, that looks wrong. That's not that one boardwalk. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You talking about Long Beach?
No. The one over by LA, more north.
Santa Monica?
Yeah, the Santa Monica
That's
pier.
not there anymore. Oh, the Santa Monica Pier. No, they don't have a whole thing out there, I don't think anymore.
I thought they did.
But they used to have a pier down a little bit further called Pacific Ocean Park. It was a complete fun zone, but it wasn't that. I went to that as a kid a number of times.
1900, Empress Dowager Cixi ordered Yi Ho Xuan boxers to kill all foreigners. From other source, Empress Dowager Cixi of China ordered all foreigners killed, including foreign diplomats and their families. Horrifying. 905, Russian police opened fire on a workers' rights demonstration in Lodz, Congress, Poland, killing 10 and leading to an armed insurrection against the occupying forces. Yee. 1 year later, Sultan Abdulaziz of Morocco ratified the agreement reached in the Algiers Conference in a personal decree. I'm going to look that up here really quick just to see if anything comes up from that. Okay, here we go. Algiers Conference. So let's add this to the underbar section here. 1906 took place in Algeciras, Spain, and lasted from January 16th until April 7th. The purpose of the conference was to find a solution to the first Moroccan crisis of 1905 between France and Germany, which arose as Germany responded to France's effort to establish a protectorate over the independent state of Morocco. Germany was not trying to stop French expansion. Its goal was to enhance its own international prestige, and it failed badly. The result was a much closer relationship between France and Britain that strengthened the Entente Cordiales, since both London and Paris were increasingly suspicious and distrustful of Berlin. You see, this is what I like, finding the little nuktas, the tiny little cracks in history that link things together. Like, things weren't just at face value. There were little things like this that push people towards, being with certain people and against certain others. And this pushed, as it said, it pushed people away from Germany and everything. So that's really cool. And this was in 1906, so probably was a step towards the First World War. 908, Japanese immigration to Brazil began with 781 people arrived in Santos aboard the ship Casado Maru. All right, Japanese going everywhere. 908, the University of the Philippines was established. Pretty cool. 1 year later, 909, U.S. educator Nanny Helen Burroughs formed the National Training School for Women and Girls in Washington, D.C. 1911, Detroit Tigers trail Chicago White Sox 13-1 at Bennett Park. Detroit recovered to win 16-15 for the biggest comeback in Major League Baseball history. Dang. 1912 as well, the Chicago National Republican Convention split between President Taft and Theodore Roosevelt. After Taft was nominated, Roosevelt and progressive elements of the party formed the Progressive Party, also known as the Bull Moose Party.
Oh, yeah,
so they're just to hell with your party, I'm going to make my own with blackjack and hookers. Call it the Bull Moose Party. 1920, the troubles in Ulster from 20 to 22 began with a week of sectarian violence in Derry. 1 century ago, 1926, Theodore Lessing laid off because he was a Jew in Hanover. 1926, trying to find it right here. Here we go. Quote unquote, because he was a Jew. So he was fired because wow, that's terrible. Not sure what he could have done back in 26, but boy howdy, if you do something like that today, you're going to be torn apart.
Yeah.
And you should be.
Yeah.
28, U.S. aviator Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger, landing at Berryport, Wales. I know we covered this yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
And didn't I say yesterday, didn't we talk about that the day before?
That I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But from other sources, it says aviator Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly in an aircraft across the Atlantic Ocean. She was the passenger.
Right.
Wilbur Stoltz was the pilot, and Lou Gordon was the mechanic. So we got a little bit more information from other source. 30, groundbreaking ceremonies for the Franklin Institute Science Museum held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at what this museum looks like now. We're not there yet. But there, look at that. It's a museum with museum-like qualities. The inside looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like Benjamin Franklin.
It does.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Franklin Institute. Okay, it is him.
Okay, there you go. It is him.
Yeah.
It's in Philadelphia, of course.
All right, yeah. I gotta go visit it. There's a giant heart. I don't want to go in there. That looks terrifying. 1934, U.S. Highway Planning Surveys nationwide was authorized, so they could go survey things to see how the roads change shape geologically. Yeah. 35, police in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, clashed with striking longshoremen, resulting in a total of 60 injuries and 24 arrests. 1 year after that, we have the first bicycle traffic court in the United States, established in Racine, Wisconsin. Bicycle traffic court.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, there's traffic court.
We could probably use one here. Now we have these electric bikes all over the place.
True, but hold on a second. WKUK bicycle course. Let's see if right here. Wait, hold on a second. There is a better one here. This is bicycle court right here.
Holy moly! What happened here?
This guy rode his bike up my ass! What?
Yeah, see, you need to have a court for such a situation. I mean, look what happened to this. He has his entire front part of the bike up in there. The poor guy. He needs legal. Representation.
Wow.
1938 baseball slugger Babe Ruth was signed as a Brooklyn Dodgers coach for the remainder of the season. All right. 1940, General Charles de Gaulle made his first speech on the BBC to the French people since arriving in London, an appeal to defy Nazi occupiers, regarded as the beginning of the French resistance during World War II. Excellent. You know, this guy, he probably single-handedly saved France from oblivion, honestly. Like, you know.
He took off when the Germans came in.
Well, yeah.
When he came back and led the underground.
Yeah, this is when he started the whole underground and everything.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for their efforts, you know, the Normandy invasion could have not succeeded or ever happened or been planned on or anything. We might have never invaded to begin with. You know, but because of the underground resistance, you know, Charles de Gaulle, he is the French of the French. So
he was their not president, whatever they're called.
Oh, he was the prime minister, president. Right here it says French president.
Yeah, but
he was all sorts of things.
I remember him being the premier, vice president, or whatever they call him over there.
Well, let's see here. He was a general. He became a junior minister. Let's see here. This is when General Charles de Gaulle made his first. So we just covered that. Then he was sentenced to death for some reason. Then he was general. Wait, no. Yeah, he's a general again. Okay.
Well, maybe he was never president then.
No, he was. I'm just going through history here. This is still 40s. 1951, he won French parliamentary election. Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, that's it.
Okay, but he became Prime Minister of France. Let's see. He
that's
did become,
58, so yeah, I'd remember him.
Here we go. He was inaugurated as President of France's Fifth Republic. He was also President.
Yeah.
He was all over the place. He's.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all of this. That's a lot.
I do remember him. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
In politics, not in war.
Yeah.
Obviously.
1940, German occupiers slaughtered cattle, pigs, and chickens. That's not friendly. 40s, well, Winston Churchill gave his "This was their finest hour" speech to the House of Commons, urging perseverance in the war and the Dunkirk evacuation and the fall of France. So after those things, so.
Yeah. And this is way before we got
involved. Yeah. Well, we had volunteers out there fighting in the RAF.
We did, especially some pilots volunteered to go over.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Mom's time, 1941. In his 18th World Heavyweight title defense, Joe Louis knocks out Billy Conn in the 13th round in front of a crowd of 54,487 people at the Polo Grounds in New York City. We also have Turkey signed a peace treaty with Nazi Germany. Oh, those Turks. Yeah. 42. Bernard W. Robinson became the first black Stadian ensign in the U.S. Navy. Nice. Eric Nestler of France stayed aloft in a glider for 38 hours, 21 minutes. So a long time to stay aloft there. 1943, SS police in Amsterdam sentenced 12 resistance fighters to death for the firebombing at the Census Records Bureau in March. It's terrible. 45, William Joyce, Lord Haha, a fascist politician and Nazi propaganda broadcaster, was charged with treason in England. Nice. I hope they executed him. Let me look this up. Hanged in Britain for treason. Good. 1946, Loon's time. Dr. Ram Manohar Lohiya, a socialist, called for a direct action day against the Portuguese in Goa. A road was named after the state in Panjim. Okay.
I love socialists.
Yeah. 1947, Gene Roddenberry survived a plane crash in the Syrian desert while working for Pan American World Airways. Wow. Do you remember who Gene Roddenberry is?
No.
He's the creator of Star Trek.
Oh.
Yeah. Screenwriter and creator of Star Trek.
Wow.
So we've covered him a couple of times. He's had several wild articles. Like he was in the LAPD. Like, you know.
I seem to remember that.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that was after this. Like, so. Yeah, you know, he was in. Wow, he's in 2 plane crashes.
Jeez.
The very first one, like 1943, was in a plane crash. 1947, another plane crash. The one we just
Maybe
read.
you should stay out of planes.
1949, he joined the LAPD. 1956, he left the LAPD to concentrate on his writing career. And then 64, he started to Star Trek.
Okay.
So that's a heck of a career there.
Yeah.
It's almost like the life of a sim. 1948, American Library Association adopted Library Bill of Rights. I'm going to look that up here really quick just to see, like, what is the Library Bill of Rights? It's not giving me, well, what is this right here? Like, oh, it's a whole thing right there. Books and other library resources should be provided for the interest information. Okay, well, let's see here. If anybody wants to know more about the Library Bill of Rights, we have a one-page document to send you to right there if you'd like to look that up. 1948 as well, National Security Council authorized covert operations for first time. Well, I'm pretty sure they were doing it before that, if they existed. That's
Well, they authorized it.
Yeah. Well, now they're covering their tracks with official paperwork, so they can't be held liable for whatever reason or whatever. I don't know. 48, Columbia Records introduced a long-playing record album in a public demonstration at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City.
LP.
Yeah. Britain, France, and the United States announced that on June 21st, the Deutschmark will be introduced in Western Germany and West Berlin. Over the next 6 days, communists increasingly restricted access to Berlin. So this is the Ein Deutschmark, for one, with meaning Ein. And right here, I'll show other denominations. So they have half, Ein halbe Deutschmark, and then 5, what is this, 5 Deutschmark, 2 Zwei Deutschmark, or Zwei. Is it
You're
Zwei?
lucky your German friend isn't here.
Oh, I know. I hope he's watching. like Xander, stop butchering my language. I do not sound like that either. Nah. 1950, Cleveland Indians scored a U.S. League record 14 runs in first inning, defeating Philadelphia A's 21-2 at Cleveland Stadium.
Jeez.
Wow. 51, in South Africa, the Suppression of Communism Act commenced, and I don't much care for that. I don't like suppressing things. 53, monarchy of Egypt formally abolished after the 1952 revolution and proclaimed the Republic of Egypt. Army General Mohammed Naguib became first president. Okay. 53, Red Sox rookie Eugene Stevens was first player in American League history to register 3 hits in an inning as Boston scored 17 runs in the 7th inning during a 23-3 rout for visiting Detroit Tigers at Fenway Park in Boston. 23-3. Man, they got their teeth kicked in. 53 as well, United States Air Force C-124 Globemaster crashed shortly after takeoff from Takashiwa Air Base in Japan, killing 129 servicemen. At the time, it was the deadliest incident in aviation history. Period. That's terrible. 54, Carlos Castillo Armas led an invasion force across the Guatemalan border, setting in motion the 1954 Guatemalan coup d'etat. 59, the first telecast transmitted from England to the U.S., so that's pretty cool.
Oh,
We're
that
getting
is.
television. 59 as well, Governor of Louisiana, Earl K. Long, was committed to a state mental hospital. He responded by having the hospital's director fired and replaced with a crony who proceeded to proclaim him perfectly sane. that's a way to get out. 1960, San Francisco Giants hired Tom Sheehan to replace Bill Rigney. Baseball's oldest debuting manager at 66 went 46-52 for remainder of season. Where is that here? Right there. 46. So I guess wins, losses, and ties.
46 wins. 46, 50, and 2.
Yeah.
No, there's no tie in baseball.
Well, you can't cry in baseball, and they rhyme.
So and this is baseball, San Francisco Giants.
So what would the third number be if there's no tie?
And the manager's 66 goes 46, 50, and 2.
66 is his age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know what the 2 is.
Okay. 1960 U.S. Open Men's Golf, Cherry Hills Country Club. Arnold Palmer staged greatest comeback in tournament history. He raced a 7-stroke final round deficit to win his only U.S. Open title by 2 strokes ahead of Jack Nicklaus. That's a way to come back. 1961, CBS Radio canceled Gunsmoke. Oh.
Ooh.
63.
Gunsmoke was huge.
Yeah, it was. 63, 3,000 blacks boycotted Boston Public School to protest de facto segregation. Excellent. 64, African Groundnut Council formed in Dakar. Groundnut? What the hell's a groundnut? Like, I've heard of walnuts, not groundnuts. Are there floor nuts, ceiling nuts?
I don't know.
Okay, apparently it's a thing. It is an intergovernmental organization designed to promote groundnuts produced in the countries of Gambia. Oh, so nuts growing in the ground, because peanuts grow in the ground. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
They're a roots nut. So, yeah, ground nuts, as in, like, you know, peanuts and other of such a thing, produced in the countries of Gambia, Mali, Niger, Senegal, and Sudan, or the Sudan and Nigeria. Okay. So, alright, this is an actual thing, African Groundnut Council. If anybody wants to read more about this thing, this is pretty cool, actually. What a heck of a find. Objectives and functions, quality control, advocacy and negotiation, coordination of product. Dude, this is awesome. 1964, blacks and white activists attempted to desegregate a motel swimming pool in St. Augustine, Florida. Owner pours acid into the water. Police arrest dozens, including 17 rabbis. What the fuck? Why are they arresting rabbis? And the Ku Klux Klan firebombed the location. Holy shit. Like,
Wow.
This turned into a GTA incident. Like, everybody wants a pound of flesh. This is nuts. 65, during the Vietnam War, the United States Air Force used B-53 bombers to attack guerrilla fighters in South Vietnam. 67, closing day of the Monterey International Pop Festival, Southern California, featuring first major U.S. appearances of Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, The Who, and Otis Redding. Excellent. We also have a connected article here. Jimi Hendrix and Pete Townsend waged a battle of guitars at the Monterey Pop Festival. Okay. 1968, Supreme Court banned racial discrimination in sale and rental of housing. Good. 69, The Wild Bunch, directed by Sam Peckinpah and starring William Holden and Ernest Borgnine, was released. Borgnine. Okay, so have you heard about this, The Wild Bunch?
I know of Ernest Borgnine, but I don't know. I don't remember the movie.
Okay.
Or whatever it is.
Okay. The answer is no. Okay. 1971, Social Democratic and Labour Party and Nationalist members of Parliament refused to attend the state opening of Stormont and North Ireland Parliament. That's not good. How can you work together if you're not working together? 72, BEA Trident crashed after takeoff from Heathrow, killing 118. So you have the Staines air disaster. 118 people were killed when a BEA HS Trident crashed minutes after takeoff from London's Heathrow Airport. 72 as well, U.S. Supreme Court, in a ruling of 5-3, confirmed lower court rulings in Kurt Flood case, upholding baseball's exemption from antitrust laws. Flood versus Kuhn.
Flood ended up that opened up free agency.
Ah.
Because up until then, the ball club that signed you definitely owned you for as long as if they wanted to trade you, you could, but you were there until they didn't want you anymore.
And that almost sounds like slavery. Willing slavery. I don't know.
You're getting paid good money.
I mean, not to sound like Colin Kaepernick or anything, but like, I mean.
Yeah, it was, well, obviously he won, so free agency was born.
Yeah.
As it should have been.
1973, NCAA made urine testing mandatory for participants. That makes sense. 1975, Fred Lynn got 10 RBIs, running battings ins, right?
Yeah, Art runs batted in.
Okay. In a single Red Sox game in a 15-1 victory over the Detroit Tigers. Wow. So many one-sided games. 75, NBC News and Information Service, the 24-hour news, premiered on radio.
Oh, on radio.
Yep. 76, Joseph William Turner watercolor auction for £340,000.
Wow.
It's telling me the image searches because there's multiple different examples, so I'm not sure exactly which one.
Yeah.
These are all beautiful. You know, like, oh, look at that ship down there with the smoke. Like,
usually watercolors don't bring in that kind of money, but this guy looks pretty damn talented.
This looks beautiful. I mean, like, it's just lacking enough detail. This one has a lot of detail, but like, you know, this one just leaves
a lot of
enough
abstract
ambiguity to the imagination, but with some solidity to anchor you with some prospects. This is awesome. What else we got here? 1976, Bowie Kuhn voided Oakland A's sales of players totaling $35 million. Joe Rudy and Rollie Fingers to Boston Red Sox and Vita Blue to the New York Yankees. 77, Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson got into a dugout altercation. Wonder what they were doing. Why were they upset?
Well, got mad at each other.
Yeah.
And started fighting.
Yeah, I got that. I wonder why though. You know, it's just
Who knows?
77 as well.
Billy Martin was a hothead.
Sex Pistols, Johnny Rotten and Paul Cook were beaten by a group of rabble-rousers outside a London pub. That doesn't sound good. 77 as well. Space Shuttle Test Model Enterprise carried a crew aloft for the first time. It was fixed to a modified Boeing 747. So we've seen that when it's flying with the thing on it. And they charge us extra for luggage. You know, those bastards. 78, President Jimmy Carter hosted the first White House Jazz Festival. Performers included Lionel Hampton, Teddy Wilson, Ornette Coleman, Dizzy Gillespie, Max Roach, Cecil Taylor, Zoot Sims, Herbie Hancock, Dexter Gordon, Sonny Rollins, Stan Getz, Chick Corea, George Benson, McCoy Tyner, and Ron Carter.
Good grief, that's a lot of people.
Did we miss anybody? I think that's everybody in the world.
That's the whole jazz world for sure.
Yeah. 1979, U.S. President Carter and Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev signed the SALT II treaty limiting nuclear weapons. Excellent. 1980, Dutch Second Chamber joined oil boycott of South Africa. And Indian human computer Shakuntala Devi set a world record by mentally multiplying two random 13-digit numbers in 28 seconds.
Wow.
She correctly answered that. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Million, billion, 7,686,369,774,870 times 2,465,099,745,779 is, hold on, large number words. Like, here we go. I had this up earlier. Okay, so let's see here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commas. I'm not entirely sure. So let's see here. Let's just start with so that's million. Okay, so million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, septillion. Okay, so 18 septillion, 947 sextillion, 668 quintillion, 177 quadrillion, 995 trillion, 426 billion, 462. No, I'm off by a comma. Fuck. So a big number of gargantuan. I can't even do this. This is ridiculous. This number, like
in her head though.
In her head. In 28 seconds, I can't even pronounce these things. I don't even know the words for these numbers, and this lady's rattling it off.
How do you know the pattern to come up with that?
She's clearly not a human. She's obviously like the descendant of some like advanced ancient race of like machine men or something to do that, because that is not natural. 1981, the AIDS epidemic is formally recognized by medical professionals in San Francisco, California. 81 as well, a vaccine to prevent hoof and mouth disease was announced. Excellent. And the Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk, the first operational aircraft initially designed around stealth technology, made its first flight. Oh, that's the lady, the supercomputer lady right there.
Wow.
But that's the the stealth aircraft.
Yeah.
And actually, I found it looking at this. See, like we of course have all like the standard black imagery and all that
Never
stuff.
seen white.
But somewhere here, there it is, white. It almost looks like a negative, but I don't think it is. I've never seen a white one though.
No.
So that's why I used it. You know, it's an albino.
Yeah.
It is. Its eyes are red. It is an albino. Holy shit. What else do we got here? 1982, ABC's All Talk Radio Network expanded to 22 stations. But from how many before? 21, 5, like 3, 29? Like 1982, Voting Rights Act of 1965 extended by U.S. Senate by 85 to 8 vote. I have a thing here telling me to look that up, but I'm going to keep on going here. 1982, Italian banker Roberto Calvi's body was discovered hanging beneath Blackfriars Bridge in London, England. Yikes. That's terrifying.
Who is that?
An Italian banker. Like in LA or London.
Yeah.
So that sounds like the work of the mafia there. 1983, Space Shuttle Challenger 2 launched the first black Canadian woman into space, astronaut Sally Ride. Excellent. 1983, Mona Mahazumazadeh, together with 9 other women of the Baha'i faith, were sentenced to death and hanged in Shiraz, Iran, over her religious beliefs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's terrible.
You will be executed if you're Baha'i in there.
Yep. I heard you, like, groaning, like,
Yeah.
so you recognize the name, it sounds like. Oh. 1984, a major clash between about 5,000 police and a similar number of striking miners took place at Ongar and Grieve, South Yorkshire, during the 1984-1985 UK miners' strike. 1986, U.S. House of Representatives approved a bill to impose stricter sanctions on apartheid South Africa. AO's time, 1987, Charles Glass, ABC journalist, kidnapped in Lebanon. Scary. 88, Jeff Hamilton hit 8,000th Dodger home run. 89, Comet Churyumov-Gerasimenko at Perihelion. And we all know Perihelion is the closest it is to the host star or sun.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So there is a word like antihelion or something like that for its farthest it is. 91, the single Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams was released. Later received the Billboard Song of the Year, 1991 as well. 91, mudstorm in Antofagasta, Chile, killed 80. Yikes.
Ooh.
A mudstorm? I've never heard of a mudstorm.
No.
A mud flood? Or something? It's like, I'm just going to image search this really quick. Mudstorm. Like,
That would make sense.
wow, look at that. There's mud on the roofs
Yeah.
and everything. And if it was, like, buried, it wouldn't be this clean. So, there was a storm, there was mud in the air somehow. How? I can't conceive. That's wild. A mud storm. Like that's a flood right there. It's a landslide, looks like.
Yeah.
991, San Francisco Giant pitcher Dave Draveski's cancerous left arm was amputated. That is terrible. Terrible. We also have Yankees pitchers pick off 3 Toronto Blue Jays. That almost sounds like they were sniping them or something.
Well, you know what picked off means, right?
Like from a distance?
No.
Like target down? Like,
They were a base runner and they got picked off.
ah, okay. Oh, now I understand. 94, homosexual games open in New York City. Okay. 94 as well. During the Troubles, members of the Ulster Volunteer Force, the UVF, attacked a crowded pub with assault rifles. A pub. Not pup. A crowded pub
Yeah.
with assault rifles in Land, Northern Ireland. 6 Catholic civilians were killed and 5 were wounded. It was crowded with people watching the 94 FIFA World Cup. Yikes. That's actually, with it being crowded and only 6 deaths, that's,
Probably amazing, that's all.
yeah. It's terrible, but it's still, it's crowded.
Yeah.
Could have just, sprayed. It's terrifying. 95, FIFA Women's World Cup Final, Resunda Stadium, Stockholm, Sweden. Hiji Reese and Marini Peterson scored within 3 minutes of each other to give Norway a 2-0 win over Germany. Excellent. 96, Ted Kaczynski, suspected of being the Unabomber, was indicted on 10 criminal counts.
Yeah.
99, Hindi film Hum Dil Di Chuki Sanam, premiered, directed by Sanjay Leela Bhansali, starring Salman Khan, Ajay Devgan, and Ashira Rai. Alright, that sounds pretty cool. 2001, The Fast and the Furious film, directed by Rob Cohen, starring Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, and Michelle Rodriguez, premiered. We also have protests occurred in Manipur over the extension of the ceasefire between Naga insurgents and the government of India. 2003, Google launched AdSense, a program that enables website publishers to serve ads targeted to specific content of their individual web pages, many of which, like On This Day, which was then historyorb.com, went on to start their own publishing businesses. Yeah. AdSense is a terrible thing. So, 2005, David Tennant's first appearance as a 10th Doctor in BBC Doctor Who episode, The Parting of Ways. Alright.
I don't think I've ever watched Doctor Who.
I've seen a lot of clips. I haven't seen a full episode, but I've seen a lot of clips of a lot of the different Doctors. 2006, the first Kazakh space satellite, KazSat-1, was launched. Excellent. 365 days later, 2007, the Charleston Sofa Superstore fire killed 9 firefighters in Charleston, South Carolina. We covered something that killed 9 firefighters yesterday. I'm not sure if this is that same article or if that was something else.
I don't remember.
I think it was a warehouse fire, though, so... 2013, Russia passed a law banning foreign same-sex couples from adopting children. I don't like that.
No.
2015, 18 vigilantes were killed and 53 were injured after an accidental detonation of an explosive device in Ngorongoro, Nigeria. Okay. 2015, Pope Francis blamed human selfishness and for global warming on his encyclical named Laudato Si, or Be Praised, on the care of our common home. Yeah, well, humans are lazy, that is true. 2016, Soyuz capsule returned to Earth. First British International Space Station astronaut Tim Peake, Russian Yuri Malyshenko, and U.S. Timothy Kopra after 186 days. Really sad to see, we used the Russians to get to space for a while.
Yeah.
Like, we so lost the space race with that. Like, they have officially won, I mean, it wasn't until private enterprises like SpaceX and,
changed everything.
Yeah. Well, there's Virgin was trying to do something, and somebody else, Richard Branson, he was Virgin, right?
Virgin Airlines.
Yeah.
Virgin.
But
Virgin was his brand. Yeah.
But there is somebody else. I don't think it was Jeff Bezos, because he did eventually throw his hat in the ring in the space race too. But there was another person.
He did go into space, Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
I know that.
Yeah, I think he also took. What's his face? William Shatner.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
He rode up there in one of Jeff Bezos' rockets. But there is another billionaire whose name escapes me. I don't remember who it was, though. I don't know. Anyway, 2017, ICC Men's Cricket Champions Trophy, the Oval in London. Pakistan won the competition for the first time with a 181-run victory over India. Player of the series, Hassan Ali, PAK, 13 wickets. And we have two articles of the same thing. It says Pakistan defeated India to win Cricket's Champions Trophy at the Oval in London by 180 runs. Fakhar Zaman scored 114 runs. Okay. 2018, a ferry sunk on Lake Toba in Sumatra, Indonesia, with 193 suspected dead. Yikes. Also have U.S. President Trump ordered U.S. military to set up the sixth branch of the military, a Space Force. So there we go, the Department of the Space Force. Mm-hmm. So we have the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and then now the Space Force.
Yeah.
But this said the sixth branch of the military. So I guess, what's the other two?
You've got
the Marines or the Navy.
Yeah, you've
the
got
Green Berets
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard's Navy.
I think it's a branch of its own, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know what? I can look this up here. 6 branches of U.S. military. We have the technology. United States Armed Forces. Okay, the Army, the Marine Corps, they are their own thing. The Navy, the Air Force, the Space Force, and the Coast Guard. Okay, you were right. So I would have thought the Marines were part of the Navy. They might have been at one point.
At one point, they probably came out of the Army, but
no, the Navy.
The Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're their own thing.
Okay. Well, there we go. 2018 as well, an earthquake of magnitude 6.1 struck northern Osaka. I think that's Japan. Chennai, India's 6th largest city with 4 million people, ran out of water as its reservoirs dry up. Yikes. Ooh. That does not sound good. We also have China had been forcibly harvesting organs from marginalized groups in prison camps on a significant scale, according to the International Tribunal in London. Yep, all the Uyghurs, the Falun Gong practitioners, the Tibetans, anyone who's non-Chinese, and even Chinese. So, they don't care. They'll kill themselves. It's terrifying. 2019, England cricket captain Ian Morgan smashed an ODI world record 17 sixes against Afghanistan in his side's 150-run World Cup victory at Old Trafford. Morgan, 148 from 71 balls. No idea what the hell that means.
Not a clue.
There it is right there, if you don't believe me. So, 2019 as well, Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam announced his suspension of the pro-China and highly controversial extradition law after massive protests in the city. We also have a sex-changing Australian bush tomato study published in journal Phytokeys, detailing how Solanium plasticinium can change from male to female to hermaphrodite.
Bless you.
Pardon me. 2019, two 14-year-old boys became the youngest in Irish history to be convicted of murder when found guilty of the murder and sexual assault of another 14-year-old, a girl in Dublin. Yikes!
Oh, man.
Holy crap! Well, I mean, like, you can't put them in juvie. You know, like, at some point you gotta treat a child like an adult. You know, and murder is one of them.
Yeah.
So I'd say, like, you know, when they start killing animals, that's when you start doing that.
Especially
Like,
sexual assault and then murder.
it's terrible.
Just added to it.
Yep. 2020, U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Obama-era Dreamers Program, DACA, enabling undocumented migrant children ability to study and work, can stay. Okay.
They just some guy that I just saw vaguely on the deal. He was in the DACA or whatever Dreamer
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Dreamer? Yeah. 14 years or something like that in college.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. He's just using it.
Wow. That sounds very much like one of my cousins. She was in college for a long time. Couldn't figure anything out. 2020 world record for greatest duration for a single lightning flash of 17.1 seconds during a thunderstorm over Uruguay and Argentina, according to World Meteorological Organization. And I looked this up on YouTube earlier, and I couldn't find anything but a bunch of shorts. So I'm not sure if this is like if any of these. Yeah, this just shows active lightning storms, not the longest one. So anyway. 2021, jurist and conservative Ibrahim Raisi was elected president of Iran on a low turnout. 2021 as well, record 82 million people now forcibly displaced, or over 1% of the world's population, according to UN Refugee Agency. Yikes. 1 year later, Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Scientists apologized to Shasheen Littlefeather for the treatment she received when she declined an Oscar on behalf of actor Marlon Brando in 1973. Huh. 2022, attacks in Oromia, western Ethiopia, targeting the Amhara people, left a reported 250 dead, killed by Oromo rebels amid worsening ethnic conflict in the country. Yikes. 2022, flooding in Bangladesh and nearby Indian states left 4 million stranded and without electricity, with at least 41 dead, as monsoon floods became more frequent and extreme. This is a dark series of events here. 2022, Lithuania banned the passage of EU-sanctioned goods across its territory and in the Russia enclave of Kaliningrad. 1 year after that, Anthony Blinken was the first U.S. Secretary of State in 5 years to meet with senior China officials in Beijing, aiming to reestablish regular communications. We now have submersible vessel exploring the wreck of RMS Titanic imploded in the North Atlantic Ocean, killing 5 occupants. The Titan...
Didn't that thing crush on itself or something?
Yes, the Titan, a submersible operated by OceanGate Expeditions, imploded in the North Atlantic Ocean while attempting to view the wreck of the Titanic, killing all 5 people on board, including OceanGate co-founder and CEO Stockton Rush. You know,
I remember that.
What's really sad is the only person who didn't want to be there, because everybody in there, like, they're all millionaires and everything.
Oh, I think someone took their kids or something.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. One of them had, like, their 20-something-year-old son who didn't want to go, but I think it was Father's Day or around Father's Day, because Father's Day night now is coming up, but back at this time, it was on or around really close to Father's Day. So he went with his dad to be there with him for Father's Day, and ended up dying for it. And it makes me think, of our father-son, family dynamic. Like, I would do the same thing. Like, not knowingly, I wouldn't knowingly die for you, but I was just like, wow. Yeah. I could stumble myself into something dangerous like that. Thankfully, though, we're not millionaires. We wouldn't be, anywhere involved in anything like something like this. So, we can count our blessings for being poor. But that's still,
It just, they got under that pressure that was...
Yeah, no, it imploded, instantly. So, they didn't suffer. Take that into solace, though. 2024, NVIDIA overtook Microsoft to become the world's most valuable company at $3.34 trillion. Holy crap, dude. 2024, Ribbons Calm Down, already the most successful African song, became the first Afrobeat single to earn over 1 billion on-demand streams in the U.S. That is epic. Russian President Vladimir Putin was greeted by Kim Jong-un on his arrival in North Korea, his first visit in 24 years.
Yeah.
That's a while. Well, so I have U.S. President Brandon announced an executive action to enable 500,000 spouses and children of U.S. citizens to apply for citizenship without leaving the country. Fucking idiots. And last but not least, New Zealand halted millions of dollars in funding to the Cook Islands after the Cook Islands made deals with China involving infrastructure, tourism, and technology. Good. Let them suffer under their own stupidity. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition, our sources, where our music comes from. These are going to be down there, in a little bit, like 10 or so minutes. Like, a lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion between two sources. We have gotten through our 32-page document in less than an hour.
Whoa, under an hour? We haven't done that in a long time.
We have 4 minutes something remaining, so I'm going to fill it up with. It is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own and find a better way to be better to one another. For your dose of passive events daily, we stream every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. If you're still watching, what's the code word today? Pocket. Type pocket into the comment section. Let us know that you're still watching. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU. Once again, thank you so much for coming in and watching. And until you catch us next time, whenever it is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!